sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Flowering plants. So here in sexual reproduction flowering plant, in angiosperm, especially in angiosperm, means flowering plant. Angiosperm. So in which these questions which is mainly framed from embryo sac. Embryo sac. So this embryo sac is also known as female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. Let's discuss some explanation on this female gametophyte. Here, generally, the female gametophyte. Here I am writing female gametophyte are also called embryo sacs of angiosperm consist of three important parts. Three important parts are there. So, like, let's draw a diagram of embryo sac. So this like this embryo sac here. So here at the micropylar end, this side here, micropylar end. So here this side we have chalaja end. Chalaja. So towards micropylar end we have one important structure called egg apparatus. So here the first and most important part here, egg apparatus. Egg apparatus. So egg apparatus present towards micropylar end. And this egg apparatus consists of two important structures. One is the central largest cell, central largest cell structure, that is called egg, or also called ova or ovum. And second, beside this egg here, so here this is what, egg cell, egg or ovum. And beside this egg cells we have two synergids. So here these two are synergids. So one egg cell and two synergids together form egg apparatus. Egg apparatus. Right. And the second important structure which is present at here, the central, and the central cell which has two nuclei. They are called polar nuclei. Here I am writing central cell, central cell with two n polar nuclei. Polar nuclei, 2n. Yes. And here I am writing central cell. Second one is central cell with two polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. And here towards chalaja end there are three cells are there. These cells are called antipodal cells. Antipodal cells. So third one, antipodal cells. So these antipodal cells present towards the chalaja end. Okay, so micropylar end we have egg apparatus. Towards chalaja end we have antipodal cell. Between egg apparatus and antipodals we have central cell. So like that, in angiosperm the embryo sacs which contain all these important parts. So here in our context, these synergid cells which contain some finger-like projections like this. So here in synergids only there are some finger-like projections will be present, some infolding like structures. So these infolding structures which is present in synergids are called filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus. So this filiform apparatus present in both synergids. So this filiform apparatus, here I am writing, this filiform here. This filiform apparatus main role is it secrete the chemical. This filiform apparatus secreting some chemicals. So that chemicals which guide the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Very important. The important role of this filiform apparatus is it secreting some chemicals, and that chemicals which attract the pollen tube, and hence this pollen tube entry into pollen sac will be take place. How means, for example, here if you have like this pollen tube, see, so this pollen tube taking entry through this filiform apparatus in synergids. Okay, so here like so here we have filiform apparatus. So for example, here we have pollen tube, and then this pollen tube entry into synergids first. Okay, this pollen tube entry into synergids, because of this synergids has filiform apparatus which secreting some chemical, that chemical which guide the pollen tube entry into this synergids. So this pollen tube carry what? This pollen tube carry two male gametes. This pollen tube carry two male gametes. So out of two male gametes, one male gametes fuse with egg cell. One male gamete fuse with egg cells to form 2n number of zygote. The fertilization process is called syngamy. Or also simply we can use fertilization. First fertilization will here occur. And what about in second male gamete? The second male gamete fuse with central cell. Fused with central cell by triple fusion process. Then it result to formation of 3n number of endosperm. Then 3n number of triploid endosperm will form by triple fusion. So in which second male gamete fuse with the central cell, and here by syngamy or by fertilization process, and it is a first fertilization process, and in which first primary male gamete fuse with egg cells to form 2n diploid zygote structures. Now that later this zygote develop into embryo, then this embryo later develop into seeds, and these seeds later gives rise to the new plants. Like that sexual reproduction occur in angiosperm plants. Okay, so this is overview on embryo sacs. So by this, if we analyze which of the following in female gametophyte of angiosperm helps in guiding the pollen tube for fertilizing the eggs. So which one? Central cell, no. And here polar nucleus, no. Antipodal cell, no. Synergids. So only synergids play important role to guide the pollen tube to entry. Because of this, synergids contain special apparatus called filiform apparatus. So that filiform apparatus which secrete chemicals, and that chemicals which guide the pollen tube to entry into these synergids. Okay, right. So here 173rd question, right answer is fourth one. Transform into corpus luteum, and it secrete large amount of estrogen. Here asking estrogen. So we have to choose most appropriate answer from the below statement, below options. Okay, so let's discuss some important explanation on this topic, on this MCQs. So do you know generally these questions which is came from human reproduction. So in human reproduction, these questions mainly came from ovulation regulation, means menstrual cycle, are also called reproductive cycle. So in which these questions will get framed. And here let's start some introduction about menstrual cycle or reproductive cycle. Generally this menstrual cycle and reproductive cycles occur in female primates only. Remember, which is occurring female primates. So here female primates like monkey, which occur in monkey, are also apes and human being. Female human being. So here generally this menstrual cycle which occur every month, 28 to 28 or 29 days per month. Every 28 to 29 days this menstrual cycle will occur. So here the first menstrual cycle or reproductive cycle begin generally at puberty stage, and the first menstrual cycle begin is called menarche. So here generally menstrual cycle which is cease or stop or cease of menstrual cycle in human being in human occur at the around 50 years, 45 to 50 years. So around 45 to 50 years this menstrual cycle will be stopped, and that stoppage of menstrual cycle is known as menopause. So menopause is the natural cessation of menstrual cycle. It is natural stop of menstrual cycle. So start of menstrual cycle is called menarche, and stop of menstrual cycle is called menopause, which occur around menstrual cycle around 45 to 50 years age, and first begin at puberty. Okay, sorry. Generally menstrual cycle occur in 4 phases. So the major events of the menstrual cycle occur in 4 phases. In 4 phases this menstrual cycle will occur. So here in 4 phases this menstrual cycle will occur here. So here first one, very important, menstrual phase. Or also we can simply you can use bleeding phase. So it generally occur 1 to 5 days. And after menstrual phase, then it follow the second phase, that is follicular phase. Are also called proliferative phase. So which occur from 6th day to 13th days. 6 to 13 days. And third one, after follicular development, and then it occur next to event, so that is ovulatory phase. Very important event, ovulatory phase. So this ovulatory phase exactly which occur at 14th day. And the last fourth after ovulatory phase, then which occur into another phase, that is last phase, luteal phase are also called secretory phase. So which occur around 15 to 28 or 29 today. 15 to 28 or 29 days. So like that there are 4 important major events which occur in menstrual phase. We have some discussion on this each phase in brief only. So here generally what happened in menstrual phase or bleeding phase. So in which generally in which phase what happened means breakdown of endometrial lining of the uterus. Here I am writing breakdown of here endometrium lining of uterus. Okay, not only uterus, and also breakdown of blood vessels. Why means due to decline in progesterone level. Due to decline in progesterone hormone level, due to decline in progesterone hormone level, the endometrium lining, it is a innermost layer of the uterus, so that undergoes breakdown. So that breakdown part of endometrium will comes in the form of blood. Okay, so generally which occur from 1 to 5 days. Clear now? Right. So in follicular phase, which occur in so-called proliferative 6 to 13 days. So in this phase, what happened? Uh, Follicular phase. In name only, it is suggesting this. In which phase there is a development of various stages of follicles. So the development of follicles from primary follicles, and these primary follicles grow and mature into fully matured follicle. Fully matured follicle. So there are various stages of development of follicle which occur in follicular phase. So first primary follicle, then secondary follicle, then tertiary follicle, then mature follicle. Now these mature follicle also we can term as a Graafian follicle. Also we can use the term Graafian follicle like that. So each and every follicles are which is involved in menstrual cycle or in ova development. So like that, each and every follicles are development which is occurring only follicular phase or proliferative phase. So this finally they form into mature follicles are also called Graafian follicles. So here all these phases which taking place only in follicular phase. Now coming to ovulatory phase. So after complete maturation of follicle, mature follicle will form, and this mature follicle or Graafian follicle get rupture. So rupture of this mature or also we can use Graafian follicle will take place. Mature or Graafian follicle get rupture, then it leads to release of egg or ova or secondary oocyte. We can use any word. So release of egg, ova, secondary oocyte by rupturing of mature follicles or Graafian follicles. Due to here in this stage what happened? Due to anterior pituitary hormone LH will be reach maximum. So when there is a maximum LH hormone, then this fully matured Graafian follicle get ruptured and there is a release of egg. So the process is called ovulation phase or ovulation process. So in ovulation, release of egg by rupturing Graafian follicle in presence of LH hormone. Okay, right. And coming to luteal phase. So in luteal phase what happened? So here the rupture Graafian follicle, here I am writing this rupture Graafian follicle. This rupture Graafian follicle will turn into yellowish body, that is corpus albicans. Sorry, not corpus, yeah, corpus luteum, sorry, corpus luteum. So the rupture Graafian follicle will turn into yellowish body structure called corpus luteum. Here I am writing corpus luteum structure. Corpus luteum. Why means this corpus luteum structure only which secrete various large amount of progesterone hormone. Large amount of progesterone hormones are secreted from this yellow body, that is corpus luteum. And here that's why luteal or secretory phase means in this phase there are various hormones are secreting from rupture Graafian follicles, and when the rupture or Graafian follicle turn into corpus luteum. So which turning of Graafian follicle into corpus luteum which occur only during 15 to 28 days. Okay, so during these days the we don't have Graafian follicle, we have instead of Graafian follicle we have seen yellowish body structure called corpus luteum. So that corpus luteum which produce large amount of progesterone hormone. When there is a large amount of progesterone hormone which make the endometrium to become like for pregnancy, for implantation. Generally endometrium lining are prepared in presence of various kind of hormone. If fertilization will occur now, then that fertilization result called zygote later develop into embryo. That embryo must and should attach it to the lining of endometrium wall. So we have to make the endometrium layer to be ready for implantation. So who will make means this progesterone hormone. So likewise, progesterone hormone play important role to make the thickening of endometrium lining for implantation for pregnancy. So hence this matured Graafian follicle, after it become rupture ovulation, then it turned into corpus luteum. So why? Because this corpus luteum secrete a large amount of progesterone hormone. Fine. Yes. So if there is a two condition here, we need to remember, very important here, two conditions. Yeah, here if fertilization occur means, here I am writing if fertilization occur, what happen, we will see. If fertilization occur, what happen, here I am writing pregnancy start. If fertilization occur, pregnancy will start. Pregnancy start. If pregnancy start means what happened, during all events of the menstrual cycle stop. All events of menstrual cycle will stop, and there is no menstrual phase. There is no menstruation. There is no menstruation. There is no menstruation. Okay, why? Because this corpus luteum, why this corpus luteum produce a large amount of progesterone, and this progesterone which maintain the pregnancy, when there is a large amount of progesterone, there is no shading or breaking of endometrium will occur, and in decline progesterone level, here note here, if progesterone hormone decline, then only the shading or breaking of a breakdown of endometrium lining will take place. Endometrium lining of uterus will take place. So that leads to form, comes in the form of blood, means it follow the menstrual phase when progesterone hormone decline. But here see, here when progesterone hormone increase here, why? Because corpus luteum is there, progesterone hormone is more means, so here no menstrual phase, and that's why this more progesterone hormone and maintain the pregnancy, so quite opposite, progesterone hormone decline means endometrium shading will occur, and it comes in the form of blood, and that leads to the menstrual phase. But if large amount of progesterone is there, then it make the which maintain the pregnancy continuously. Okay, so this is what exactly will happen in this during large amount of and less amount of progesterone hormone. Okay, if fertilization occur means this will be occur. If for example, if fertilization do not occur, so what happen, we will discuss. Just wait. Yeah. If fertilization do not occur, what happen? If fertilization do not occur, then no pregnancy. So if there is no pregnancy means, again all events of the menstrual cycle will again regain. All events of the menstrual cycle will start. There stop. Here stop. Here start. And here important thing here, if fertilization does not occur means, here we have now corpus luteum, yellowish body corpus luteum, and this yellowish body corpus luteum formed from the matured ruptured mature Graphian follicle now. So from rupture mature Graphian follicle only this corpus luteum will form after ovulation phase. So here what happened? This corpus luteum will degenerated. This corpus luteums again get degenerated. But if fertilization occur, so then this corpus luteum won't get any degenerated, which still maintain to produce large amount of progesterone. But here, if fertilization does not occur, then this corpus luteum get degenerated into whitish body structures. Now this whitish body structure is known as corpus albicans. Corpus albicans, very very important. Here corpus albicans are the whitish body structures, okay, and which form from degeneration of this corpus luteum. Okay, and these corpus albicans which cause disintegration of this endometrium lining. So which cause disintegration of endometrium lining because of this corpus albicans can't produce any kind of hormone. And why? Because if there is a corpus luteum which still maintain, then there is a production of progesterone hormone. But here corpus luteum no for maintain. So here corpus luteum get degenerated into whitish body corpus albicans. So uh, gradually the hormone like progesterone hormone level will be gradually decrease. So gradually decrease of progesterone hormone level, it indicates that there is again start the again new cycle, that is menstrual cycle, by breaking of endometrium lining of the uterus will occur. So here the main if fertilization does not occur means in which corpus luteum degenerate into whitish body, and this whitish body is called corpus albicans. This corpus due to presence of this corpus albicans which disintegrate the endometrium lining of the uterus will occur. So all this process will occur during what menstrual phase. So this is only brief. So already we have made videos on this, please watch in my YouTube channel here. uh, yeah, so then we have to analyze this one questions. Just wait. So remember what we have discussed each and every concept, then we have to do analyze the questions now. Okay, so once again we read this statement. So ovulation is caused by the LH surge. Yes, high or maximum luteinizing hormone which leads to rupture of Graafian follicle. This statement is right. Right statement. Statement 2, Graafian follicles remaining after ovulation. Yes. So just now we discussed Graafian follicle means which Graafian rupture Graafian follicles. Rupture Graafian follicles remain after ovulation. But this Graafian follicle transform into what? Yellowish body. The ruptured Graafian follicle transferred into yellowish body structures. That yellowish body structure nothing but corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. Yes, no. Just now we discussed corpus luteum, and here so Graafian follicle remaining after ovulation, and that Graafian follicle transform into corpus. Yes, corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum secrete large amount of what? Just now we discussed, that is progesterone. It secrete large amount of progesterone, but here in questions they are asking estrogen. So this estrogen statement make this statement become wrong. So generally this corpus luteum secrete large amount of progesterone, not estrogen. Okay, so that's why statement 1 is right, statement 2 is wrong. So here statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So right answer is first one. 174, the right answer is first one. Okay, right. Okay, so next one, 175. Given below are two statements. Statement type of questions. Statement 1, modern Homo sapiens arose in Australia and moved across various continents. Statement 2, Homo sapiens arose around 75,000 to 10,000 years ago. Okay, so let's we analyze And this question which is from evolution. In evolution, origin of modern Homo sapiens. From evolution, origin of here, origin of modern Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens. Origin of modern Homo sapiens. Right. So here we analyze this statement. Modern Homo sapiens generally. Modern Homo sapiens arose in Africa. Very, very important. In Africa only they arose, not Australia. So this statement is wrong. Arose in Africa, and from Africa they move across different continents. From Africa only they move across the different continents, and there they developed. There they developed distinct. They develop into distinct race. Distinct race. Okay, right. So during this modern Homo sapiens, which arose during Ice Age. During Ice Age only, they this modern Homo sapiens will arise. Ice Age means here 75,000 to 10,000 years ago. This modern Homo sapiens arose. Modern Homo sapiens will arose. Okay, so here the first statement is wrong because here in statement giving Australia, but generally modern Homo sapiens arose in Africa, and Homo sapiens arose around 75,000 to 10,000. This statement is true. So choose the most appropriate answer here. Statement 1 is correct. No. Statement 1 is incorrect. Yes. And but statement 2 is correct. So right answer is second one. Okay. Yes. So generally in food chain we have various trophical level like this. We have various trophical level like trophical level 1, T1, T2, T3, like T4, like various trophical level. Generally this trophical level very, very important. Trophical levels are classified. Generally this trophical level are classified based on source of nutrition. That's it. Source of nutrition, very, very important. So why this trophical level, how this trophical level is construct means based on the source of nutrients. So in that source of nutrient, and also we can remember the flow of energy from each successive trophical level always unidirectional. So in which flow of energy in successive trophical level always unidirectional. Unidirectional. Unidirectional means, for example, from the flow of energy from trophic level 1 to trophic level 2, then trophic level 2 to trophic level 3, then trophic level 4 only. But it is not a bidirectional, only always unidirectional. For example, in trophical level 1, we have producers. Means the plants. Producers are always here. The organism which make their own food, they are autotrophic organisms, also always placed at the bottom of the trophic level. They are producers. And then above the trophic level, above the producers, there we have consumers. In consumer there are primary consumers are there. Primary consumers. So primary consumers are nothing but the animals which eat the plants, are they are called herbivores, also called herbivores. And then trophic level 3 we have tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers here carnivores, the animal which eat another animal, they are called carnivores. And here tertiary consumers at trophic level 4. Like that, in each and every successive trophical level, the flow of energy only like unidirectional. Unidirectional means here from producer to primary consumer, from primary consumer to secondary consumer, from secondary consumer to tertiary consumer only the flow of energy will occur. Hence the pyramid of energy always, hence the pyramid of energy, the pyramid of energy always upright only, always upright, and flow of energy always unidirectional only. And when the energy will flow from each from success when the flow of energies occur in successive trophical level, only 10% of energy only transfer, very very important. So only 10% of energy transfer from each successive trophical level. And what about 90% of energy? This 90% of energy will get lost. Okay, 90% of energy will get lost, only 10% of energy transfer from each successive trophical level. Okay, and here we have to choose. So primary consumers here, so who here primary consumers always herbivores, herbivores. So right answer herbivores. And here carnivores are what? Secondary consumers, secondary consumers. Okay, right. And parasites and predators, they may based on different food chain, we have parasite and predator in different levels. Okay, right. So here primary consumer of food chain is always herbivores. Right answer is 176. Right answer is 1. Okay, next one, 177. Which of the following is not evidence for evolution? So here we have to choose not evidence for evolutions. There are various scientists, they propose various evidence, like embryological evidence, divergent evidence, convergent evolution, and paleontological evidence, like that. So here we have to choose which is the not evidence for evolution. So these questions which is mainly from evolution, evidence of evolution, evidence of evolution, evidence of evolution. Evidence means proof of evolutions. So here in this, we have to remember one important scientist, Ernest Haeckel. Ernest Haeckel. Ernest Haeckel. So about Ernest Haeckel, and he proposed he proposed embryological evidence for evolution. Generally, he proposed embryological evidence for evolution. He proposed embryological evidence for evolution. Okay, so he proposed this embryological evidence for evolution based on based on his observation, based on his observation. How means certain embryonic stage. Here he said certain embryonic stage, certain embryonic stage are shared across different vertebrates, across different vertebrates. He said certain embryonic stage care are shared across different vertebrates. But however, this evidence was disproved, disproved or rejected by one more scientist. So this statement, what Carl Ernest said, this was disproved or rejected by a scientist called Carl Ernest von Baer. Carl Ernest von Baer. He disproved Ernest Haeckel's statement, like certain embryonic stages are shared across different vertebrates. And what he said, why he disproved it, he said that embryo never pass through the adult stage of the other animals. So he said embryos embryos never pass through the adult stages of other animals. So here embryos never pass through the adult stage of the other animal. It means that here the embryos of one species, the embryos of one species, the embryos of one species never resemble the adults, never resemble the adult, okay, adult of another species, okay. It means that all vertebrates share some characters during embryonic stage. This statement was said by the Ernest Haeckel. So Ernest Haeckel said all vertebrates share some characteristic during embryonic stage only, okay. Certain embryonic stage only share the different characters across different vertebrates, but this statement was disproved or rejected by this Carl war Ernest von Baer, and he only said embryos never pass through the adult stage of other animals. Why? Because embryos of one species never resemble the adult of another species. So by this statement we can conclude. So here generally divergent evolution of anatomical structure we have are also here divergent evolution and convergent evolution. So here divergent means analogous organs, and here convergent means homologous organ statement also we have. And paleontological evidence also there, but embryological support for evolution is there, but which is proposed by Ernest Haeckel means wrong. So why? Because this embryological evidence for evolution by Ernest Haeckel is not approved. It is not approved, and it is no longer accepted evidence. It is no longer accepted evidence. Hence, this statement is wrong. So we have to choose not evidence for evolution. These questions which is from animal kingdom, that is especially from phylum Porifera. In Porifera, especially in respiratory mechanism. Respiratory mechanism. So here phylum Porifera like sponges. Poriferas are nothing but they are mostly sponges. So poriferous sponges, they lack this porifera organism or sponges, they lack or absent of specialized respiratory organ. They lack or there is absence of specialized respiratory organ in which. So if they lack or absent of specialized respiratory organ in porifera, and in which what happened, how the respiration mechanism will take place in porifera like sponges means, in which water flow through central canal system, in which water flows through central canal system. Water flows through central canal system. So when water flow through this canal system, which allowing the cells to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. So when the water will flow through the central canal, so for example if you see the structure of like sponges, if you like, so here we have central canal. So generally the central canal play important role to allow the water. So when it allow the water, and here in water only they exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. Exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide via very important via simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. So they exchange their oxygen and carbon dioxide with simple diffusion over the entire body surface. Through entire the over body surface, they exchange their oxygen with carbon dioxide over the entire body surface. So here answer is simple division. See, more simple division over the entire body surface is the right answer. So here 179, match the following questions type. Here in which list one excess growth hormone, luteinizing hormone, vasopressin, oxytocin. Here their functions are given. So choose the correct answer. So here first these questions which is from human physiology, that is in endocrine system. From human physiology, endocrine system. So if you observe these options clearly, and these entire questions all hormones which is came from pituitary hormones only. Pituitary hormones. Pituitary hormones. Let's we discuss few importance of these pituitary hormones. Generally, pituitary hormones secreted from pituitary gland. We know that in that pituitary hormone or pituitary gland, there are two types of pituitary glands are there. We know that they are anterior pituitary gland and posterior pituitary gland. Anterior and posterior. So posterior is called neurohypophysis gland. Hypophysis gland, and anterior means adenohypophysis gland. Adenohypophysis. This neurohypophysis or posterior pituitary gland secrete two important major hormones. Two important major hormones secreted from this posterior, and they are, one is oxytocin hormone, and another one is very important hormone, that is vasopressin hormone. Vasopressin hormone. So oxytocin and vasopressin hormone both are secreted from the posterior part of the pituitary glands. Okay, so here the vasopressin hormone, also called ADH hormone. ADH means anti diuretic hormone. Anti-diuretic hormone or ADH hormone, also known as vasopressin. So these two hormones are secreted from this posterior pituitary gland. Now coming to anterior pituitary gland, we secrete various hormones, like in which very important growth hormone. Okay, then ACTH hormone, adrenal cortex stimulating thyroid, adrenal cortex hormone, and thyroid stimulating hormone, and also it secrete LH and FSH hormone, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and also it secrete prolactin hormone. So likewise, there are various hormones secreted from this pituitary glands. All these hormones are called pituitary hormones. Here in option C, here generally, here what we need to discuss here, we mainly focus on this growth hormone, GH hormone. So here, if if growth hormone overproduction, underproduction, it means excess production of growth hormone is also problematic, and least production of growth hormone is also problem. So based on which, here we do, if there is a overproduction of this growth hormone, overproduction of growth hormone. Overproduction means excess production. Excess production means hyperproduction of growth hormone. Hyper. Then it leads to a disease, because in adult it leads disease in adult and in children. For example, in children, overproduction of this growth hormone, it leads to a disease condition called gigantism. Gigantism, very important. Gigantism. In children, overproduction of this growth hormone leads to gigantism. Here, gigantism means nothing but abnormally height increase. So, gigantism, abnormally increase height. Abnormally height increase. Okay, abnormally the person height will be increased in gigantism condition, which is only in children, which occur due to overproduction of this growth hormone. If it is overproduction in adult, overproduction of this growth hormone, which leads to cause a disease like a syndrome called acromegaly. Very important. Acromegaly. So acromegaly is due to overproduction of growth hormone in adult. So acromegaly means here nothing but severe disfigurement of face. So face become disfigurement. Here I am writing acromegaly, nothing but disfigurement of disfigurement of faces. That condition is called acromegaly. It is due to excess or overproduction of growth hormone in adult. Okay, fine, right. And if the underproduction of growth hormone, underproduction means less. Okay, less production or hypoproduction of growth hormone. It leads to a condition called dwarfism. Dwarfism leads to condition called dwarfism. So here dwarfism means abnormally slow growth or abnormally height will become decrease. So here abnormally height increase called gigantism. Abnormally in children only. It is in children. Okay, and dwarfism not children, sorry, in adult only. So dwarfism abnormally height decrease. Abnormally height decrease is called dwarfism. It is due to underproduction, means less production of growth hormone, but overproduction of growth hormone leads to gigantism, that in children. Okay, right. So likewise growth hormone overproduction and underproduction of their respective disorders. Yes, coming to LH and FSH hormone, we know that LH and FSH hormone both are anterior pituitary hormone, and this LH hormone play very important role, which induce ovulation of mature Graafian follicle, which induce ovulation of mature or Graafian follicle. So when ovulation of mature and Graafian follicle will occur, then here the Graafian follicle get ruptured, and from rupturing follicle the egg or ova will release out. The process is called ovulation, which occur at 14th day of the menstrual phase. Okay, right. And also we have to discuss about vasopressin here. Vasopressin, so we know that as vasopressin also called as ADH hormone, which helps, it stimulate the reabsorption of water. It mainly play important role in reabsorption of water and electrolytes from DCT. Very important, DCT. So this vasopressin hormone play important role in reabsorption of water and electrolyte from DCT of nephron. Remember, the deficiency means underproduction of this vasopressin hormone. Underproduction of a deficiency of this vasopressin hormone leads to a disease called diabetes insipidus. Very important, diabetes insipidus. So due to deficiency of insulin hormone, diabetes mellitus, sugar. But here, due to deficiency of vasopressin or ADH hormone leads to cause diabetes insipidus. Remember, diabetes insipidus. So main role of vasopressin hormone is which reabsorb the water and electrolytes from this DCT region. Okay, yes. Coming to oxytocin, so very important hormone. Here, this oxytocin, which is generally act on smooth muscles of uterus, which is acts on smooth muscles of uterus. In uterus, smooth muscle generally present in myometrium. So in uterus there are we have three layers: endometrium, myometrium, epimetrium. So the smooth muscles are generally present in myometrium. So when this oxytocin which act on myometrium, then there is a it stimulate to contraction. It stimulate the contraction during childbirth. So labor pain. So we can easily say labor pain will occur due to contraction of the smooth muscles or myometrium because of this excess oxytocin hormone. Okay, fine. So this is all about the entire concept of pituitary hormone. Let's analyze this statement. Match the following statement. Okay, yes. So excess growth hormone. Here excess growth hormone in adult leads to cause acromegaly. So third one, luteinizing hormone for ovulation. vasopressin hormone, ADH hormone, reabsorption of water and electrolytes in kidney. So first one, oxytocin hormone, contraction of uterus, that is smooth muscles of uterus, that is called myometrium during childbirth. So oxytocin D1 is second. So 3 4 1 2, 3 4 1 2 here, 3 4 here, fourth one, 3 4 1 2. So right answer is fourth one. So here natural selections, literal meaning of natural selection, nature nature select the best one, nature select the best one. Okay, and this process general this natural selection concept was given by charles darwin Charles Darwin. Do you know Charles Darwin is now considered as a father of evolution? He was considered as a father of evolution, remember. And he wrote one book, Origin of Species. Origin of Species. Origin of Species. Generally, there are three types of natural selection we have. Let's we discuss here. There are three types of natural selection. In that, first one is uh, directional, directional, directional selection, and second one is stabilization selection, and third one is disruption selection. So likewise, there are three types of natural selection occur in nature. So here directional selection means in which what happened, in which one of the extreme variation, here I'm writing, so in which one of the here one of the extreme variation can nature select, can nature select only one of the extreme variation, it called directional selection. In stabilization, it favor the nature and it select, so it select, in which it select the mean character value variation, it select mean mean character, nature can select only mean character value organisms. In disruption, here in disruption what happened, in which nature can select at peripheral character. In disruption, nature can select peripheral peripheral character peripheral character. Okay, for example, here I want to explain one important example with the one bird. So generally in bird, in a bird having different colors. For example, the bird has for dark color bird, here for example we have dark color bird, from which dark color bird there are some other birds are get evolved, like moderate color bird, and like semi moderate color bird, and then lightest color bird, like that we have, means lightest color birds. So here like this we have now. So nature can select, if here if nature can select extreme characters. So here extreme character what, dark color bird, nature want to select only dark color bird, and this type of selection is called directional selection. Directional selections means the nature want to select the best one and extreme characters, that is dark color birds. So that type of selection is called directional selection. Okay, fine. If nature want to select only a mean character value, mean character means either moderate color or semi moderate color, nature wants to select only these characters, and this type of selection is called stabilization selection. If nature wants to select peripheral character, here what are the peripheral character, either lightest color bird or darkest color bird, both. If nature want to select this both extreme peripheral characters, such type of selection is called disruptive selection. So likewise, there are three different types of selection which is selected by the nature. So nature always select the best one. Okay, so likewise, if you choose the correct answer here, in which natural selection contain disruption, directional and stabilization. So we need to select here ACD. Where we have ACD? Here. ACD. The right answer is fourth one. So with this we have complete each and every RE-NEET 2026